Hello friends. In last lecture we discussed the various schemes of pumping. So in these pumping schemes we discussing 2 level, 3 level and 4 level schemes. So now today we are going to start the topic properties of lasers. In these lasers can be introduced the various types of properties. So in these properties included first is directionality, second intensity, third is monochromaticity, and fourth one is coherence. So let it study we get discuss one by one. So first is directionality. In this property we discuss the sources between conventional light sources and laser light source. So in these conventional light sources we get the conventional light sources emits in all directions. So in comparatively conventional laser beam is a very narrow beam of light and produces a straight beam of wave. See in this figure we see the conventional light sources. This is the laser beam, and laser beam emits in straight direction and narrow beam of light. So in this way the divergence angle d. So beam of divergence is equal to theta is be the wavelength of light. So in this way, in this case we discuss the directionality of laser beam is expressed in terms of the full angle of beam. So the angle of beam of divergence phenomena defined in that diagram. So the point of strength of beam dropped by 1 by e times value of for the center point. So let it discuss the beam can be propagated as parallel beam for a distance measured by d2 by lambda is also known as the railing range. So in this way the angle can be defined as del theta is equal to lambda by d. So the beam can be divergence very is less than approximately 0.001 milliradian. So in this way we get the we study the directionality properties of laser. In this laser we can find out the output. The laser beam is concentrated that the best search of light available. So next is second is intensity. So intensity will be produces in laser beam as compared to conventional sources is high intensity phenomena. The light from a lamp streams out more or less uniformly in all directions. In this case of laser light as compared to lamps out of more less uniformly in all directions. So laser gives the light into the in form of narrow beam of light. So where another lamp streams is less uniformly direction phenomena. He emits in all directions. So we get laser is approximately concentration sources both spatially and spectrally from the great intensity of laser light. So in this way we get the light beam and power of densities many times is greater the surface produced by laser beam. Laser beam is a high intensity phenomena can produces about the directional formation of very long distance. Laser beam travels in straight directions. So In this way, we can study the intensity of laser. So next is monochronicity of laser. In this monochronicity, laser can be produced as high monochronicity phenomena. So narrow beam can be produced when the light emitted laser is more monochromatic than that of the ways of conventional monochromatic sources. When light emits in the form of laser, it gives one monochromaticity phenomena. The degrees of monochromaticity of light, frequency of line can be line width denoted by del V. So degrees of that monochromaticity, no, so degree of non monochromaticity defined the relative bandwidth of coherence light is equal to del V by V0. See in that figure, how can be high monochromaticity phenomena produces the narrow beam of spectral width. First, see the light source. See in light source is emits in the spectrometer. So we get the intensity versus wavelength phenomena. How can be produces in that way. So in this way, we get the light source is spectrometer incident, and the wavelength, various types of wavelength we get that in that spectrum by using the spectrometer. So in second, the laser devices, the width is extremely narrow, means as compared to radiation of monochromatic wave. So we get the see laser light in spectrometer, the light intensity very narrow beam of light produces in the form of high intensity and very thin narrow spectral width will be produces. So in this way we get the intensity of light as defined as the monochronicity of phenomena is a very sharp and direction of with narrow beam spot of beam produces. So next we get the spectral lines of in this way phenomena will be produces. So that will be gives the intensity of light in the formation of monochronicity of light, where the width of this narrow beam is very short intensity defined. So in this way we get the monochromaticity phenomena. So we get the next is we find out narrow beam of light in the intensity of spectrum line. So next is coherence. Fourth property is coherence of light. So in this we get the laser radiation phenomena is high order degree in the form of light field than the other light sources. So we get the coherence of superposition of waves in nuclear energy levels. So radioactive spontaneous decay of nuclei phenomena can be occur. So we get the coherence properties of laser in a constant manner defined as laser light combines the identical wavelength and forms of the cost is to be greatly amplified. So the laser light can be identical wavelength produces in straight way direction. So in this way the laser radiation and current both can be produces the spatial and temporal and spatial type of phenomena. So temporal in this two types of coherence. So first is temporal coherence, means that the big beams of thought electric and magnetic fields occurs in the same time. So in this second types of spatial coherence means they are light beam traveling in same directions. That phenomena is called spatial coherence. So in this way we discuss the properties of laser. So thank you.